welcome back to another video. I'm your host Trey. That's my man Chibi.
你好.
And today we are going to be discussing peace lilies. This particular plant here is probably one of your more common house plants. Not by choice, but kind of by default. And when I say default, it's mainly because of these plants are usually acquired by someone passing or someone's memorial or something like that. That's how I acquired mine. That's how my friend acquired this one today that we're going to be working on. And mostly anyone that I know that has peace lilies acquired them by unfortunately someone passing or whatever. Needless to say, it is a very gorgeous plant. With the proper care, it can be really bushy, dark green, and you get these flowers, these little pollinators that pop out and all over the place. Today, we're gonna repot this. We're gonna cut it back because as you can see, a lot of old dead leaves and everything. If you look closely there, you can see a snail. If you look closely there, you can see a snail right there in it too. This was an outside plant. She had it out on the porch, balcony. So what we're gonna do here, this is actually gonna come inside. I'm actually gonna repot it. And like I say, prune it down really heavy. Put it upstairs near a super bright window and give it a chance to bounce back. She should be coming back to pick this thing up in a few months. If not, I have another addition to my collection, but this is the one that's sentiment to her. So I'm almost positive she's gonna come back and get this in a few months, which is fine, that's what we're looking for. So yeah, stay tuned. Spathiphyllum, otherwise known as the peace lily. Besides your grandma's pothos, the peace lily is probably one of the most common houseplants you're going to find because they're fairly easy to grow, and like most of us, you probably pick one up from a memorial or someone's dedication or something. Peace lilies are tropical, which means it likes indirect sunlight, consistent moisture, and humidity. So let's get into these basic tips. When it comes to soil, any basic soil will work. Don't overthink it. Yeah, with water and consistency is key. Keep the soil lightly moist to the touch, but not overly saturated. They're not too fond of dry spells, and their leaves are going to start to develop brown tips if they don't have enough water or humidity. Spraying the leaves with water usually helps with this. Yes, peace lilies can grow in water alone as well. You want to put the roots in water only. Keep the base of the plant dry, and you'll be good to go. Preferably, you want to keep the peace lily in a spot that gets bright indirect light. Something like an east-facing window is perfect. Even a north-facing window would be okay too, but the east-facing window, it gets the morning sun, which is not too harsh. You can get, even if you have a north-facing window, it would be okay. You just want to keep them out of areas where they'll get direct sunlight all day because it might dry the leaves out. Peace lilies are not heavy feeders, so fertilize occasionally depending on what you're using. Me personally, I use Alaska fish fertilizer, and I've never had an issue with burning my plants. The peace lily particularly likes phosphorus instead of nitrogen. So if you're going to fertilize it, be mindful. Try to find like a fertilizer that specializes in like blooms. But other than that, you should be good. You really shouldn't need a lot of fertilizer to get your plant to bloom. As long as the plant is getting enough sunlight, then it should bloom just about year round, honestly, depending on your location and conditions. Peace lilies are mildly toxic, so if you have animals or even small kids that like to chew on things, as all of them usually do, be wary about its location and where you place it. And lastly, probably the greatest thing about peace lilies, you don't have to repot them often. I repot mine probably every 8 to 12 months. All right, let's get into the video. All right, so now that we got the basics out the way, we're gonna go ahead and repot this as we planned. And you'll see how it looks once we get it out the pot. And yeah, let's go ahead and get going. Now I know you're like, what are you doing? You're gonna repot this inside? Yes. As you can see, I have a sheet down. My floor is inside here is cement, so I don't have to really worry about the dirt staining the carpet or getting the carpet clean or whatnot. If anything, I'll have to sweep it up, get rid of that mop, and I'm good to go. Good to go. So yeah, man, let's go ahead and get it going. I don't recommend you doing this at home if you don't have cement floors or whatever. So this is a video. I am going to get dirty. That's the whole purpose. But yeah, as you can see here, let's get you a close up. You can see the roots were completely packed into the pot. They've taken on the shape of the pot. So what we're gonna do here, still moist from a while ago. So we can cut this down some. Definitely gonna cut the roots down some. You don't have to, it's okay to cut the roots. You're not gonna kill the plant. There's a possibility of sending it into shock, but once you cut the roots down, it just basically encourages the plant to, to grow back. Now, I know this looks like, he's cutting down the roots, but trust me, it's okay. I've done this before. I'm probably gonna go about halfway just to encourage more growth. And then I'm gonna get inside and cut a lot of this stuff back here, but yeah, I could have went in a bigger pot, but I don't have any, and I don't want to go bigger. So I'm going to cut this down, and I'll give you guys an update on this in a couple weeks, but I assure you it's going to be okay. So much roots. Honestly, I could take off more if I like, but yeah, I think that's enough. All right, you see here, you got tons of roots. Like I said, don't worry, all of this will grow back. The plant will be fine. I've done this several times before. You're gonna end up eventually having to do it as well. So basically what we're gonna do is fill that pot up with a mixture that I have. I use this, I got this from Home Depot. It's about $8 a bag. And I use 2 of those to 1 bag of cow manure compost. And just mix it all up. And yeah, just fill these pots up. Well, fill the pot up. All right, so don't want to fill it up all the way because you have to account for the roots and the amount of soil that you're gonna put on top. So, see here, filled it up about a little bit, about halfway, just about, and then I'm going to sit this on top of this, and then I'm also going to put more soil on the top of that. You're going to put soil on the top of this, fill it all up around. You don't want to go all the way up to the top, right? You want to just go, leave it about 1 inch. That way when you water it, everything will come back, and you can always go back and add soil to it later. So you want to make sure that you have the soil not too high up, but just enough to have it where when you water it, the water doesn't overflow. And like I say, you're eventually going to have to add soil to it because it's going to compact as you water it, and you'll just have to top it off. But yeah, man, she's looking good. Now we're going to prune her back a little bit more and water her down and get her up in her spot. Now, with the green ones, you don't want to cut down too far because it's still growing. So there may be another leaf that'll grow out the shoot of it. So I don't cut too far down. I usually cut like right around the top of the base. That way it'll give room for another leaf to shoot out the back of it. So you don't want to go too far down. Yeah, let me know what you guys down in the comments. What are you guys doing to keep your peace lily healthy, and give me some tips. I'll be more than happy to try them out, especially if it's working for you or whatever. Like I say, by no means am I saying I'm an expert or some kind of botanist or whatnot. I'm just here to tell you what works for me and to show you guys what I do here in my own place and give you some tips. Yeah, man, she looks way better. Let's get it watered. All right, she looks a lot better. Before, after. Yeah, man, so as you can see, we cut everything off, pruned it down really heavy down beneath. You can see how much space we have now, starting with before. Plenty of space down there, we got good soil. So now all we want to do is water it. So basically, you could use one of those big jugs, but when I'm watering most of these plants in home, like inside, I basically just use a Gatorade bottle. And basically what I did was took some nails. I don't know if you can see this. See if we can get it focused. Basically, I took a nail and poked some holes around it and just put water in. And you see here how it shoots out. Not too much of a flow, so it won't flood the place. And just squirt it around. Now, a plant this big in a pot this size, you don't want to add all the water at one time. That's why I use this instead of like a large bucket. So what I do is I empty this bottle around the whole side. With new soil, I can probably put 2, but I don't want a lot of the water to like flood out up underneath. I want to make sure that it gets completely moist all around, especially being that you just repotted it. So I'm going to water this in increments. So I'll give it a bottle now, and I'll probably come back maybe like 2 hours later, and I'll switch around with another bottle, and then I'll probably top it off tomorrow with the 3rd bottle in the morning, and it'll be good for about a week. Just monitor it or whatever. You just want to make sure that the soil is adequately moist, and versus being wet on top, and then you have a bunch of these dry pockets, which is one of the reasons why I aerate a lot of my plants' soil. I walk around and you know, disturb the soil a little bit. That way, when you water it, the soil will actually take on the moisture and not just sit up top and then rush to the bottom, and then you have this completely little dry pocket. That's why it's good to water in increments. Don't just dump a bunch of water down on the plant and you're like, oh, you're good to go. Because 9 out of 10 times it's going to still be dry down in the middle. So it's a good thing to do, to walk around in your plants throughout the day if you have time. And take like a stick or a metal thing, you know, a little metal probe. I have like a letter opener, and I just walk around and disturb the soil. That way I won't have any issues when I'm watering like that. So this is your peace lily, guys. Pretty basic plant, pretty easy to care for. Not too much maintenance. And yeah, man, I'll give you guys an update in about 2 weeks. Let you know how she's doing. For those of you who are worried about me cutting the roots and everything, she'll be good though. Don't worry, guys. Hey, thanks for joining, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the page, click the little notification bell, and yeah, man, I'll see you next time. Peace.